The year has gone pretty much as I expected. Education-wise, there's some things that have changed in the state as well on the national front, and we are trying to keep up with those. We have a new rating system in the state as compared to what was in place when I came in. Right now, we are looking at doing some changes, and as we all know, most people do not like change, and so that has created a few bumps in the road. Academically, we're not where we want to be, but we're working to get that done. In a week, the administrative team and I will go to Harvard again for another week of intensive leadership training, and we are doing those things. And that's something that we started the year with last year, which worked for us because we had quite a few new administrators when I came in the door, and we are growing them day by day. It is a must so that we can keep the community informed as to what we're doing. That was part of our planning yesterday. We just have to come up with an avenue or venue to couch it under how we're going to do it, whether it's going to be a town hall meeting, whether it's going to be an informational meeting with staff people reporting out, and we may do a mixture, but we have to get something out. And we talked in terms yesterday that at the end of each quarter we will do something. We have to get something done. If we look at the recoverable F, then that child would have an opportunity to come in and work hard, and he or she could still be successful. If you have a 19 or 20, I'll just say a 25, it is going to be very, very difficult for you to recover from that 25 throughout the year. And then, you know, we have an unsuccessful child, and that sometimes would lead to our dropout rate. And what we're trying to do is change that 21%. We're going to look at the Biloxi, we call it the Biloxi model. And that is, whenever a child fails a test, he or she will have an opportunity to retake it. In other words, anything that they are falling short of, they'll have an opportunity to go back and redo and try and do better. In doing that, whatever the best grade comes out, that's the grade that they will be given, and not averaging grades. It's just, in other words, we're going to keep them working. There was a meeting on Monday, and they asked for additional time, they being the contractor. We granted that, and what we're going to do as far as the 9th graders, and we've had the staff schedule, assign rooms, and do everything with Kate Griffin for the 9th grade. So we're not that far behind with that piece of it. The furniture is still there. We did not move any of the furniture, holding that because that was our plan B. We will start the 9th grade staff and students at KG somewhere around the end of September, the 1st of October, we will be ready to move into the building. Small learning communities will still be set up, and they really start for the most part at the sophomore year. The 9th grade year is more exploratory, and so that will not have any effect on that at all. The rating does not affect anything that we do, that we are doing. It does not affect any scholarships or anything that the students may receive, or they're getting into a school. What it does, though, it puts us in a watch mode that for this testing cycle, if there are no other irregularities or violations, then our status goes back to accredited at the end of that testing cycle. So, but the appeal, we're asking them to take it away because we've submitted a plan that they have accepted, and we are trying to make sure that there are no loose ends in this testing cycle for us to have anything to go wrong. We've been told that it is difficult to get that changed, but in the process we had to examine those avenues to make sure that if we did everything that the MDE has laid out for us to do, could we have that decision reversed? And so that's what we are trying to have done. We are taking the necessary precautions and actions that need to be taken. Hopefully that will satisfy the needs and wants of the state board. And by me coming in being a new superintendent, and I'm hoping that the general public will understand this, I don't know what promises were made to other staff people or how those things happened. But now that I'm here and on my watch, and what I'm being held accountable for is administering the policy as it is. And the policy states that they should either go to the school in which they work, or if it's grade appropriate, to the closest school to which they work within that district. Or if they live in the district, then they should be going to the school in which they live in the district. And, you know, when we hear the term perks, perks are normally spelled out in contracts. And nowhere have I read or seen anything that references this as a perk. They work for a wage and fringe benefits, and that's all I have to go on. That's another piece that had been put in place prior to my arrival, that it was supposed to have gone last year to the school colors, which are the Meridian High colors, which is the royal blue and white. Well, when we started talking about it as a staff's recommendation was that, that we do away with the white, and that was for some grooming reasons. If we're going to stick with that, we will look at the blue and white, the royal blue and white,